All right. Very good evening to all of you, my friends, well wishers, viewers. Welcome to our program once again, and it's Thursday in October, and we're just about uh, a few miles away from Christmas.
No, that's true.
Just a few miles away from Christmas because I don't know where the time went. It just, Dr. Richard, the time just goes. I wonder where September went.
September
You know,
gone.
I looked around, it was gone. Now we're in October,
It's getting quick.
and it's getting close to the holiday season again. Soon enough, they're gonna have the clock set back, and then it'll get dark. This time it's gonna be dark already.
That's true.
So um, I'm concerned about all of the folks who would have. By the way, good afternoon to you, Dr. Richard, and
Good
welcome to the program
afternoon. Good
once again.
afternoon. Thanks for the invite.
We were to have Dwayne with us today, but I learned that he had something that came up and he couldn't get on the program.
Hmm.
So we'll see him at some point. But he said he has everything ready for us to and the audience and all the viewers. He has everything prepared. So we'll see when that comes. Um, I'm concerned about the folks who would have set goals New Year's Day that they're going to lose all of this weight and um, and by next year Christmas they're going to be whatever weight they have or they plan to how much weight they're going to lose, and some of them, Dr. Richard, didn't even begin yet.
Well, that's the thing, There's some people saying right now, but the year ain't done yet. So,
The year ain't done yet. Yeah.
I mean, still, they're like, okay, Some people like last minute, So,
I don't know how they're going to lose that weight last minute though.
I know.
If your average weight loss is 10 pounds per month, which is 2.5 pounds per week,
Mm.
if you do it right, you only have about 6 weeks.
Okay.
So
So the persons whose goals were like losing 5 or 10 pounds, they probably would fall in the ball game if they start right now.
there's still hope for them.
Yeah,
Still hope for them, but they cannot procrastinate any longer.
yeah.
So today I want to really hone in on the the mechanism that is responsible for weight
Mhm.
loss, and how do you get started? Because some people didn't start yet. Some people
Yeah.
haven't even bought their shoes yet to go walking. Buy everything else but no shoes, no walking shoes. Some walking shoes may have dry rotted because they haven't been used so long.
Well, you can walk barefoot. They call it grounding. You can get grounded.
Get grounded. They can get grounded, yes, but they gotta walk
Yeah.
someplace where it's not. Well, Guyana is getting pretty good roads now, so they could walk on the roads that are flat. Because if they didn't walk on the flat roads, uh, then they'd be in trouble with their foot, the bottom of their foot, right?
Yeah, it's not good to walk flat-footed. You get flat foot, and it's not a good thing. Women would lose the arch and things like that. Can't wear high heel shoes too easily like men. So yeah, but the thing is with losing weight, right? It's I think in the outset it's a question that need to be asked. Which one comes first? Do you lose weight to get healthy, or do you get healthy to lose weight?
That's like the question I ask.
Yeah,
Which came before? Did the chicken come before the egg or the egg
exactly,
chicken?
exactly. You know, and we find that if you were to really try to get healthy, first, you know, then you lose weight. But of course, some people, they have situations where they may lose weight unintentionally. I mean, like they don't have it unintentionally. They have stress, you know. Some people, have situations, maybe medical conditions, and that, they're chronic situations and they can't eat, they're not eating. Some people probably, losing weight because they don't have resources to eat, to find food to eat. So,
Some people lose weight by proxy
mm-hmm,
because of circumstances.
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So it's better to lose the weight healthy, because like you said earlier, the healthy way of doing it is the best way,
Right.
because there's so many different diets, that you can get on. And, when you eat all these low carb diets and different things, they eventually, there's like a rebound effect. You may lose the weight and feel good for maybe two
And
or
it
three
goes
weeks.
back.
It comes back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
You
There's
know,
a fad that's happening now where persons are using the diabetic um, medicines or drugs to
with
lose weight.
injections,
Injections. Yeah.
yeah,
That is happening quite a bit.
GLT and all those different
Yeah.
things. Yeah, somebody had asked me. Um,
This is juice watermelon, by the way.
oh, really?
Yeah.
Did you use the seeds and all that? You didn't take the seeds out?
Some of the seeds were blended. We blended it up and we blended some of the seeds with it. Yeah.
That's good. That's the best thing. You know.
I probably drank about half of a watermelon this week.
Wow.
And it happened because we had the watermelon and
Hmm.
we were leaving and we couldn't eat it out. So
Oh, okay.
we
You have
just,
to walk with it. Yeah, it's better to walk with it in the liquid, right?
yeah, it is
Yeah,
better we just juice it and freeze it.
yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. But those injections, the side effect of them, when you really, from my research, when you really boil it down, yeah, people are losing weight, and satiety, they're not getting hungry and they're eating little and they're feeling full. However, the side effect they're saying is worse than the actual benefit,
Hmm.
because eventually what happens, you cannot tolerate anything. A lot of people vomit a lot. You know, they, the stomach lining, it changes, and you have a problem where you can't even digest anything.
Yeah, it's true.
Basically.
It's true. Because the object of the drug or the side effect of the drug is basically starvation.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know, where your intestine in your stomach kind of locks
Mhm.
off or locks down, and nothing. You don't want any food. You don't want anything. And if you try to eat anything or drink anything, even water,
Mm-hmm. Even water.
nauseated and you want to vomit.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, I know one person who did that, and she was vomiting day and night.
Yeah, yeah.
Couldn't even hold nothing down.
You
So
can't hold in nothing, and that's the thing, and you can get a metabolic condition, acidosis, or all different problems with the biochemical condition of your body. You
the
know,
camera is moved to the side where it goes all the time. It moves to the right.
for my camera.
Yeah, we have to come back to the left.
Oh, there.
We have to go to the next side. The next side.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It
So
kept.
it's a problem. That is a big problem, and if you want to enjoy a temporary benefit with a medical chronic uh, problems, I should say, chronic diseases, you're subjecting yourself to chronic disease, chronic illnesses. You gotta, which is the benefit. You gotta weigh it up. You want to look good and nice and everything else, but then you're sick.
Yeah. You look good on the outside, but inside you're totally.
Inside, yeah, not good,
Hmm.
not good. So a lot of people are. Uh, some people are, they're getting off of it, because they're seeing the benefit, that particular side effect in other people, and then they're looking at the reviews constantly, and it's better to be, learn from experience, but the experiences of others. If you see way ahead as you're driving, and they teach you when you're driving that you should look at least 3 or 4 vehicles ahead, that all the cars are stopped ahead of you, and you drive, would you still drive fast? Be prepared to stop, you know. So that is what's happening,
Yeah.
with that particular thing. And I don't recommend it. If people ask me, what do you think, man? You think I should do it? I don't recommend it.
Yeah, I think what people need to realize is that, first of all, losing weight or trying to lose weight the right way is a decision that you have to make.
Mm-hmm.
It's a mental decision. It's not just a mouth decision. It's a physical decision that you make,
Mm-hmm.
committed from your mental state, because the brain has a lot to do with your losing of the weight and your
Mm-hmm.
commitment to the weight loss process.
Mm-hmm.
And if you cannot program your mental state, your brain, to accept the fact that you are going into this mode,
Mm-hmm.
if you cannot do that, then it's going to be artificial, because you have not really committed the body to the process. You see?
Mm-hmm.
So many persons who would have made that decision last year, or New Year's Day, um, made emotional decisions for the most part. It was verbal. They probably meant it, but it was emotional. It was just verbal. It
Mm-hmm.
wasn't. It wasn't a commitment that they made to themselves mentally, because they haven't started. Most of them haven't
Mm-hmm.
started yet. You see, and if you commit to something mentally first, like we talk about healing,
Mm-hmm.
healing first begins in the mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, there are many persons who are sick that can get better, but because they keep telling themselves that they're sick, they're going to remain sick. They haven't really accepted the fact that they need to come out of that stage or that state.
Mm-hmm.
They're in the bed. I know someone right now who's in Trinidad, and he was told that he needs to have uh, triple bypass surgery.
Whoa.
Yes, this is about now. This is October. He learned that since about June.
I
Okay.
hope he changed his diet.
Well, listen to this. Um, I screened him once and I told him, I said, if you don't make a decision to change your approach to foods,
Mm-hmm.
you're going to suffer serious consequences, because your heart is at risk. And he took it casually. He says, "Yeah, man, I can do that, man. I can do that. I can change." Right? This was in February. The next time I saw him was the second time I went there this year, and I just screened him and realized he didn't do nothing.
Mm-hmm.
So he said, "When I screened you the first time, the results were the same results I got today. Did you do anything? Did you change your diet? Did you follow? Did you take the medication I suggested?" "You know what, doc? Man, I was so busy, man. I didn't get time to do this and this."
What?
I said, "You talking about your heart? You
Yeah.
talking about your life? You talking about your health? You're talking about your state of health that could go one way or another,
Mm-mm.
wrong way." Um, and then the next thing I know, he's hospitalized.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing. I said to the person that is close to him, I said, "Listen, if that guy has to wait, I think it's still next February he has to wait, something like that. If he has to wait until then,
You can do something
trying
ahead.
to get the surgery done, between now and then, if he takes if he takes a simple format, a simple formula, if he does this, when they examine him again, they may be surprised to see he doesn't need the surgeries.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But he made up his mind that he's going to wait, and he didn't do anything.
The thing is, like you just said, if he only understand, and this is solid research that they've done, people with even probably worse, he has to have a triple bypass. People with quadruple, with more.
Yeah, yeah.
If they're what they did with them, they put them in a plant-based whole food diet, get off of all flesh, all dairy, for 6 weeks, and they're good,
Yeah, the condition pretty much resolved,
improved.
you know.
Yeah, you know, and is that information that people are not really they're not aware of, or they don't believe things like that. But the thing is, one key thing with food is very addictive,
Yes.
and every day, even we are fighting with the addictions ourselves,
Yeah,
all of us.
because we love certain things, and
Yeah.
when we see them, we want to eat them.
Hmm.
And even as a vegetarian, you still have
Yeah, you still gotta be.
desires for certain things that you need to
Yeah,
stay away from, or to use less of.
and you can still be fat as a vegetarian.
Of course, of
You know,
course.
eating more than your body needs. And it's just that we have to really understand what food really is.
Yeah,
What's the purpose of food? What's the definition of food?
exactly,
You know,
exactly.
uh-huh,
What is the reason
yeah,
why we choose to eat foods,
right. Why
and
do
then
we eat?
and then we need to choose the foods we eat.
Exactly, exactly. I like there's a definition of food here that the Macmillan Dictionary, uh, you know, brought to being, and we probably can expand on this a little bit. It says, "What is food? It says that which is eaten to sustain life. That's one.
Hmm.
To provide energy
Hmm.
and promote the growth and the repair of tissues." Basically, one word that is used: nourishment.
Nourishment.
You know,
Okay, okay.
so it's basically fuel and provide the nutrition for repair and
Sustenance.
yeah, everything. You know, so it's fuel. Now, when it comes to fuel, even in the world that we live in, when we think about fuel with a car, there are different variety of fuels.
Yeah,
Years ago, I don't know, some places still have it. You have leaded gas,
yeah. We have in Guyana.
yeah. You
Hmm.
have unleaded gas,
Hmm.
high test, right?
Premium,
Premium.
super.
So
There's one
yeah,
is super something.
right. And it's the same with foods. You know, so we have to decide what sort of fuel we putting into our body. Now, the body that God made us with is able to use basically two types of fuel, either sugar or fat.
Hmm.
You know, sugar or glucose comes from, you can get it as carbohydrate. Protein can go into form sugar. So those two, either sugar or fat. Now, what they find with the studies, and that the most uh, and the best, believe it or not, the best source of fuel for the body is fat,
Yeah,
right?
fat is fuel.
Yeah, it's the best source. It's like, for example, you use it again, the difference between gasoline, like the gasoline cars, and the electric car, right?
The ones I like.
Which one is more fuel? Which one is more cleaner?
Of course, the one that I like.
Yeah, electric, right? Less breakdowns, less byproducts, less thing. So, the sugar has a lot of byproducts.
Yeah.
When it breaks down into a lot of, it's they would say it's more dirty, basically. Electricity is more cleaner. And it's the same thing with between glucose and fat. Fat is more cleaner. Fat breaks down into ketones, and ketone body it's more efficient. I think it produces like 9 kilocalories, you know, per gram, and then one gram of glucose produces I think 3. So I mean I'm talking about like ATP, right?
Mhm.
So the fat is more efficient. It produces a lot more energy
Yeah.
than the sugar. But then we just flip it around. So we figure we like the sugar because the sugar is more attractive. We love it more, right? It's more tasty, and we consume a lot more than we have need of, right? They're saying they've done the research saying that the body basically needs about 1 teaspoon of sugar for if you were to take all the blood in your body, like for somebody who's like 165 pounds in weight. If you take all the blood together and you in that body, it would be like 1 1/3 gallon, right? You just imagine 2 gallons. That's the amount of blood you have, and for that amount of blood, only about 1 teaspoon of sugar is needed
Satisfies you.
to
It
satisfy.
satisfies
Exactly,
its needs.
exactly. And
Hmm.
that particular 1 teaspoon can come from
A
eat,
number of things.
yeah, from other places
Yeah.
besides sugar from you taking in. But instead, we are using, and that's the problem that we have, at least 31 teaspoons of sugar every day, excess, you know. So because of we like it, it's sweet. Sugar is sweet, you
But
know.
the other thing is that sugar is almost in everything.
Exactly, exactly. And you get in some things you buy, you look at the label. 1 teaspoon is like 7.5 grams, right, of sugar. Some things have maybe that amount and more,
Yeah.
you know,
Hmm. 1 teaspoon.
1 teaspoon. So we are using more sugar than our body can use. So
Who takes 1 teaspoon of sugar? People don't even do that in their own teas.
no, no,
It's so sweet.
yeah,
You know,
yeah,
it is almost like a sin to know
mhm.
that you cannot hardly hide from the sugars because everything you pick up has
The
the sugar
sugar,
and
and
they have
then
different names.
yeah, yeah, all different type, and they have so many aspartame and all the different
Yeah.
synthetic ones.
So what happens, not cutting you, what happens is that
Hmm.
we train our brain to accept the sugars. And when you train the brain to accept the sugars, the more you eat, the more you want to eat.
Hmm.
Because the brain is now accepting it, it's part of your life,
Yeah.
right?
Hmm.
But that sugar is what is damaging the lives of so many millions of persons
Hmm.
around the world, thousands of people in Guyana.
Hmm.
Sugar, and they get in all kind of forms. Even when they buy the fast food,
Hmm. They put sugar.
they put sugar inside.
They cook like I can't believe. I remember I was at somebody's house and I was wondering how they cook. How come they make like lo mein and things like that? Chow mein.
Sugar.
I'm wondering how come it always tastes so nice. See them put sugar in it. I'm like, oh,
You become addicted to it. You want more,
yeah.
more.
It's like putting some cocaine in there because sugar. It says sugar is more addictive than cocaine.
It is. It is. I believe that. It is because from birth we are trained to consume sugars.
Hmm.
So when you make the decision with your mouth to lose the weight, you have to retrain the brain to
Yeah.
use the sugars.
Hmm.
you have to retrain it because it is. And the thing is, when you don't use the sugars, you crave more for it because
Yeah.
your brain,
Mm.
the part of your brain is responsible for that craving, is calling for it. Like, you become addicted and you want this sugar, and eventually you give in and you take the sugar. It's like you're
Hmm.
losing energy because you're
Hmm.
not getting that sugar that the body's accustomed to. So what is
Yeah.
going on with persons who are having a hard time losing the weight is that they have not retrained the brain to refuse the sugars. The sugars, but we got to be careful when we talk about the fats being better than the sugars because people might say, you know what? Okay, then I could use my fried chicken and my fried fish and my, all of these fried things, and they will drown themselves now with fat because they think it's, we saying fat is better. And I'll give you an example
Yeah.
that happens. I stopped really talking about the benefits of certain types of fruits and so on now because
Hmm.
when people listen and you go to the marketplace, the prices go up.
Yeah. You
If I
know.
say, for instance, if I say, okay, and if you take lemon and cucumber and you do
Mhm.
this and you do that and it's good for this or that or whatever, you go to the market in 2 days. The cucumber gone up in price,
Hmm.
lemon gone up in price.
What?
Yes, they use the program
Mm.
because they know people are going to come looking for it now. Okay, the audience will come looking for it, and they'll tell their friends, and everybody go looking for cucumber and lemons. So when you go there now looking for lemons, you're paying a premium price for a lemon.
Mm.
It's still
Wow.
happening. It's still happening today.
Hmm.
Still happening.
Well, the thing is, when I say fat now, and look around, most people have fat in them. That's what I'm talking about.
You see them every day.
That's what I'm talking about. Your body already have the reserve fat. That's why you're gaining weight. So there's a way in which you can, you know, turn around the source of fuel that you're using. Use the fat that's in your body. You know,
Hmm.
that's what I'm referring to. And that fat can be used. The only way it can be used is if you reduce the amount of glucose of sugar that you're intaking. Your body automatically switches, okay, from one source to the other.
Hmm.
And the most
Automatically.
effective source is to utilize the fat that's already in your tissue. You know,
Hmm.
uh, that's the whole premise behind intermittent fasting.
I don't think most of the persons understand that.
Yeah, and that's the thing. If we were to, and this is called, you utilize the adipose tissue, the fat that's already on our frames, that is clogging up the arteries, that is, you know, covering over the nice muscles that we have, the abs, especially in the abdomen,
Yeah, the
the
hardest part
six
to
pack.
lose.
You see a cadaver, a person with a fat stomach. You gotta, in order to actually get to the muscles, you gotta tear away fat on top of it.
Yeah, you have to dissect.
Yeah, when you dissecting, yeah, when you dissecting, you get a body that has an abdomen that is enlarged, and when you look and see,
The
there's a
layers.
whole lot of fatty layers covering those six packs
I know you would have seen that when you were doing those
all the time,
off season.
all the time,
Yeah,
all the time. So
yeah.
in order to actually get to the muscles, you know, you got to remove. They refer to it as fatty tissue. You know, they call it compressed fascia. It's laying all over there. You got to move it to get to the muscle.
Hmm.
You know, so in our bodies right now, that layer of fat in most people with big abdomens is sort of fluid. You know, it's in a state where it can be utilized quickly.
Yeah.
It turns into ketone body. You burn it up and you get ketone bodies. You know, So it's a state of ketosis that intermittent fasting switches over, and you're able to use that that fat, you know, as ketone bodies, it's produced, and you're able to use that fat for fuel. So that's the fat I'm talking about. You ain't got to consume anything, but you know something, and you triggered in my head right now. There is a trend that's happening right now, and the carnivorous diet. I don't know if you're seeing that. People are consuming excessive amounts of meat.
Protein. They think it's more protein they're getting.
Yeah,
But they advise in many ways about using that as a process of gaining muscles and losing weight.
right, right, and some individuals are making claims that all the maladies that they were experiencing when they change over to eating flesh, they're gone. You know, they're,
Yeah.
they're more healthy.
Yeah.
However, it comes with a price, as we see every day.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
you change to that particular diet, you succumb to a lot of other stuff.
A lot of diseases.
Yeah,
Yeah.
more
Particularly parasites.
parasites, exactly.
Yeah. Worms, parasites, coagulation of the blood vessels,
Yeah,
the arteries are
yeah,
narrowing, the heart, the pancreas,
yeah.
liver is fatty.
Hmm.
I think people they misunderstand a lot of what is out there about doing certain things.
It's a trend, and
You know,
then
it's a fad happening.
it's a fad, exactly.
Hmm.
And people follow it until they get to a critical mode where things just start happening, and they want to turn back, you know, and sometimes you can, and sometimes you may not be able to.
Well, we've seen some people who did that and they did turn back.
Hmm.
But when they turned back, what they saw was scary because the conditions that they developed, the diseases that they developed, they couldn't understand how.
Hmm.
See, I have this motto that I use, which
Hmm.
sounds kind of cruel, but it's real. It is difficult to benefit in your body from utilizing something that's dead.
Hmm.
It's already dead. You
Hmm.
know, what is the nutrition that you're going to get from it? Well, let's talk about the beef. I don't want to even go to the fish.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, a lot of people think that fish is the healthiest. I stopped eating red meat, so I only eat fish now.
Oh yeah,
But then, they're not told that fish has H. pylori. He has worms and many other worms and can cause
that's
cancer.
marvel,
You know, yeah,
pinworms.
yeah, cause cancer of the liver, cancer of the gallbladder, cancer of the pancreas,
They forget about the
cancer.
mercury, the
Yeah,
lead. You know.
yeah.
Well, I mean, then people will say, well, what am I going to eat? What am I going to eat?
Hmm.
Well, I had to tell someone, is it yesterday or day before yesterday, when I was screening, because that was a question. But Doc, very smart person, but Doc, we have to get proteins, right? It's important that we get our protein. So if I stop eating these things, and I wasn't the one who decided that he should change his diet. It was because of the condition he had that automatically the device chose the foods that he needs to
Right,
abstain from
right,
so
right.
that he can achieve the results he needs.
Hmm.
But we always get the blame, because we're the ones that are passing the information on to them. So we get.
Yeah.
So I said, first thing I want to tell you is that I didn't choose this path for you. It's your body because of the illnesses you have
Hmm.
that automatically says to you, and I'm passing it on to you. That's all I'm doing. Avoid these things. First thing. I said, secondly, I would give you a challenge like I gave everyone else. Find me anything that you can eat that does not have protein. Find me anything. Even a fly has, an ant has. They
You
couldn't
know,
survive
it's
without
true.
it.
Everything God made has protein. I just I was surprised when I looked into that, you know, because I was at the well, they taught us that vegetables don't have protein, but that's a lie.
Everything with life has protein.
It has protein, but not as
Not as much
right.
as
Yeah,
some other things.
yeah,
But if you
yeah.
combine your foods properly and you prepare your foods the right way and you
Hmm.
consume them as
Hmm.
you're supposed to, you're not going to be nutritionally starved. You're going to
No.
have your protein. And then I said to him in the end, I said, look at me. Do I look like I need protein? He said, no, man, no, no. He says, well, guess what? I have not even had not even an egg
Mm,
over 40 years.
mm.
Not even an egg. Right? So if you can look at me and you don't think I need protein, where am I getting it from? I'm not eating the fish, the chicken, the beef, the pork. I'm not eating any of those, not even eggs. You know?
You you remind me of. I'm thinking when you ask where can you get the protein from, and what triggered my head. I don't know if you remember, like in the was it the 70s or the 80s? There was a man called the Windmillion. He goes around. He had a group of people says, and they used to say, well, I don't eat no meat, no nothing. I don't eat no food. I live on the air. I'm just the wind.
Well, when-
So so he had a following too. I mean, people would follow anything, boy. So this one time, I might have told the story before. Uh, what they found out is that this same Windmillion, he goes into, was it Burger King, the big Whopper. Well, of course, he doesn't go as himself. He goes to this guy. One time he got this, somebody found him and says, hey, you the windmill? You're the windmill. It's right alive. And the investigator found that he goes in there almost every day eating Big Macs, 3 or 4 Big Macs,
It's protein from the store. From
Big Macs and fries. You know,
yeah.
so people. But the thing is, uh, yeah, I don't eat either, and I don't look like I mean, you can gain, like I said, I mean, you can gain weight
I'm
even being a vegetarian. I mean, if
not
you're
to be
not
I,
careful.
I want to get down to like 178,
Hmm.
180 most, and it's not easy to get there.
No, no, no,
I mean, I
because
don't have the fat,
yeah,
but it's when you get closer to your target, your weight target, it's harder to lose.
yeah, because it's a mind thing. Your brain, again, here you go with your brain.
Yeah,
You make certain rational assumptions that, hey, look, I'm very close. I can handle this. I can deal with it. I've been doing this for a little bit long now. I've been watching what I'm eating. Uh, Cheating now and then, doing something.
hmm
I'm not gonna say cheating. It's not the eating meat or anything like that, but consuming. You know, I mean,
yeah.
there's some good delicacies, even in vegetarian life.
You can say that again.
I mean, there's excellent stuff.
You can
And
say that
you can OD eating those things too.
again.
Overdose eating, and you can gain, like I said, you can gain weight. Consuming those things. There are people who love nuts, and they go nuts about nuts.
It's true.
You know,
I had some nuts today.
yeah.
The funny thing about me and my nuts, and the craving is true. Your body normally tells you when you need something.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen, if you understand your body, it will
True.
it will cue you into what you need. If you listen, if you train your brain. You see, you have to train your brain. The brain doesn't train you.
Mm-hmm.
You have to train the brain. So if you train the brain to stop at Burger King every time you pass, guess what's going to happen?
You gotta stop, man.
Let's stop.
You get so good at it that you can a mile away you can smell.
Exactly. Exactly. And if you miss the one that you want to stop at, you're gonna be going like crazy looking for the other one.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You know?
yeah.
So we have to use those necessary cells in our brains to work with one another. Listen, I want to lose 15 pounds and I want to do it between now and December. Okay, this is October. I want to lose 15 pounds between now and December. Here's what I want to do. You got to talk to yourself. What I want to do is I want to go into intermittent fasting. Okay, I want to skip my dinner and I want to eat a light lunch. And for breakfast, I want to have something that is fairly decent. I'm going to cut this out of my diet. I don't want to see any sugars because I have enough. I want to burn some fats, so I'm going to start walking. You got to really train your brain.
Yeah.
And we need to maybe do a book on how to train your brain because we can do it. Because many persons fail because they didn't train or retrain the brain. How to retrain your brain because you've already programmed it to do what you're doing to get to 355 pounds.
Whoa, what?
Yes.
355 pounds.
Yeah, Dr. Richard, trust me. And that's small still. Right? Wow. I actually saw someone who was 380 pounds.
My.
380.
How tall were they? 6 foot? 5?
No, she was 5 feet 7.
Oh.
5'6", 5'7".
Wow.
Yes. And when I didn't see her at first because I was so busy. When I saw the paper with the information, I thought it was an error. When I glanced at the numbers, I thought that the young lady made an error. But then I called her. I says, "This is not right, is it?" She says, "You wait until you see."
Oh boy. Wow.
And indeed, I asked the person, I says, "How could you allow yourself to get to this size? How could you?" You know what she said? She said, "I didn't even know it was happening."
And she may have a point, though. I don't think she totally knew it was happening, but the mechanism of the body, how we are, is the more we eat, the more we want to eat.
Exactly. Exactly. The stomach will go as big as you allow it to.
Yeah. And if you can accommodate certain things, for example, like when you gain in weight, you can't fit into the same old clothes anymore. And that should be like
that's a measure.
Trigger. Say, hey, something ain't right.
He's wrong. Yeah.
But then if you can accommodate your size, like you make larger garments, things like that, and then you can accommodate your because to sustain a person that size, to maintain that weight, requires a lot of ingestion of a lot of foods. Can you afford to do that? See, years ago people couldn't. The only people that could have afforded to do things like that are kings. Royalty.
How long did they last?
They didn't last long at all. They died. As a matter of, I think King Henry, he was over 400 something pounds, and they show a picture of what he consumed a day. How many cattle they had to kill, how many goats they had to make, how many pies they had to make.
Wow.
I mean, he consumed a lot of things, so much so that it was hard for him to move.
I can understand. I can understand that.
He developed the cupid eye, sores.
Yeah.
And he had a lot of sores in his body.
Yeah, because he couldn't move.
Yeah, and they say that when you walk into the room, you can smell the stench of those sores.
Yeah.
That's how he died.
He died from toxemia.
Yeah. So it's an incredible thing. I mean, like I always say, we are wonderfully and fearfully made. Our bodies are able to accommodate either direction. You can go expand, or you can contract.
Yeah.
And some people can go in extremes. You can contract. You can get so skinny, that you can hurt yourself in either direction.
When you get into to really losing weight, if you want to do it to the point where you don't know when to stop, the body will continue to move.
Yeah. And there's
because
a disease with that.
yeah,
With that.
because
Yeah.
remember, if you decide to lose the weight in the right way and you program this brain to allow you to get to that point where you feel satisfied, when you get there, the brain is retrained and it
Mm-hmm.
doesn't know when to stop until you tells it or ask it to stop. You retrain this brain to now lose all of its weight. So the brain goes into it puts you into the mode where your appetite is no longer as it used to be. Your
Mm-hmm.
stomach is shrunk. Your intestine doesn't really have the room for anything. It's just shrunk to the point where there's only liquid going through there, if anything. Your bowel situation has changed. You're not going every day anymore. You're going maybe once or twice per week because there's nothing in there. So your organs begin to shut down.
Mm-hmm.
People don't understand that. And you actually can hurt yourself and kill yourself by going to the extreme.
Yeah, I mean that's suicide basically.
Yeah, you could. So
Mm-hmm.
it is important that you have guidance. If you really want to lose the weight, you need to be guided. You need to be. I think there was a place called Fat Farm. I think
Yeah, there's a lot of different forms.
I don't know if it still exists, the one there,
I
but
think there's some. I mean, they may have changed the names to like health centers or I forgot what they
rejuvenation.
call them. All different names, man.
But
Yeah.
I think it is more needed now because the populations across the world have become so obese that there is going to be a shortage of food at some point because they're eating so much.
Yeah, you get that much fat in you, you can live a long life, a long time without.
Without food.
Yeah, just
So
water. That's why there are places, and you're talking about places where uh, you can go. As a matter of fact, I was told recently about that. You can go to this place, uh, and it's fasting. They place you in like uh, in rooms, and you're paired off, and you're there like on a 40-day fast, water fast. You know, you pay for the service, and they're individuals who are able to, you know, healthily, you know, help you manage that fast healthfully. And the people that pay to
oh
go
yeah,
to these centers to
they
be
pay
able to do it.
thousands to lose the
Yeah,
weight.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So that's another alternative for people who have money. Um,
Maybe you
there's so
should
many different things. Huh?
open one of those.
Huh?
Open one of those
Yeah,
because there's so many people who need guidance to
yeah.
lose the weight. They're struggling to lose the weight, and they would pay anything to get it done. Get it
Hmm.
off. We are looking at a facility right now in Jamaica.
Hmm.
I just came from there, and we're looking at a facility there where a few persons, and they want me to be part of it, um, want to get it and convert it into a facility
Hmm.
for rejuvenation,
Hmm.
not just for weight or weight loss, but
Well, health.
yeah, total health.
Hmm.
And yeah, I spoke with two of the persons already,
Hmm.
and they were trying to put some little symposium together where we could get together some folks and do it, because there's so many people around the world that needs it, not only for weight loss, but for diseases that they have or sicknesses they have, and they're tired of being sick.
Hmm.
Many persons who are sick are tired of being sick. They don't like being sick, and they want to get out of the sickness. So they're looking for facilities or a place or a person that can really help them to come out. And that's what we do all the time. We try to help people to come out of that disease state.
Hmm.
It's not normal.
Hmm.
But the problem is some persons are not willing to make the sacrifices. It's not gonna come so easy.
Yeah.
Overcoming your disease, including fat, obesity is a disease. It's not gonna happen overnight, and it's not gonna happen just like that. You have to
Hmm.
make, you
Hmm.
have to everything comes with a price.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to pay a price to lose that weight, to overcome that disease, to become healthy again, because you allowed yourself to get to that point. You know,
Mm.
so yes, there are facilities, and yes, there are going to be more, but it begins with you, the individual. It
Yeah. I
walks
mean,
with you.
yeah. It's a decision that a person has to make even before they go to a facility, because you can pay all the money you want, and then you get there and you realize you can't do it. You know.
You're not ready.
Yeah. You're not
So
ready.
what we need to do on our program, and persons can tune in. Tell your friends, tune in. Every Thursday between 6 and 7, you can just put Dr. Joseph Haynes on your YouTube, and it will come up live between 6 and 7. Or you can go to Safe TV Channel 2, and the programs are all there. And if you go on YouTube, you'll find myself, Dr. Richard, whoever else on the program. We are there to advise. And then if you're in Guyana or even in Florida, even if you're overseas, the places that we operate out of, that you can get help.
Hmm.
Like I got the call today from Atlanta. I got one from New York. I got one from Jamaica. There are people who are dying to get help. And they're telling you clear, doctor, I'm dying to get help. I said, tell them, he says, well, don't die to get the help, because if you die, you can't get any more help,
No, sir.
you know.
Yeah.
But we are available. We are available at the clinic in Guyana, in Georgetown. If you're in Georgetown, you can make your appointment, and
Hmm.
you'll be seen. And we will help you to achieve your objective once you commit to the process. If you're in Florida, it's easy. If you're in New York, it's easy. If you're in Jamaica, if you're in wherever you are, you can reach us, and there are places you can go, and we will try to help. And that's what we do. That's what we do every day. Between you, myself, Dr. Tatiana, um, we screen people every day, and find their disease. Like today, I had one guy there, who big businessman, and I knew he was knowledgeable because of his language.
Hmm.
So, I put him through the process like I do with everyone, educate him first mentally as to what we're going to be doing. And when we were done with the screening, I tested him for the coronavirus. He didn't have it. And then I tested him for other things. And he said to me, he said, Doc, what about my liver? I says, well, I haven't reached your liver yet. You're going on the line from your head to toe. We're going
Hmm.
to get there. So he said to me after a while, when I got to the liver and I went past the liver, he said, something? He said, I got to tell you. He says, I went to all these places, and I know I wasn't feeling good. I know something was wrong with me. And every time they took a test, they all take the same test. They're telling me nothing is wrong with me. And I come to this little place, and you telling me what is wrong. He says, I know something was wrong there. That's why I tell you go there.
Hmm.
Because he felt that something was wrong. And he was right.
Hmm.
He was right. You see? So people don't understand what we do. They think that, I don't know what they think, but they think all sorts of things.
Well,
But we we take time to analyze you. You can tell us nothing is wrong with you. We still find it. We do it all the time. You come and say, well, I don't have no problem. I just want to check up. But you know very well that there's something wrong.
they will not tell you
They wouldn't
until
tell
you tell them. So
you. Yeah.
yeah.
Then I said, man, you find that? What do you mean if I find it? As long as it's in your body, it'll show
Hmm.
up if it's a problem, because we are comparing you to a perfect specimen.
Hmm.
Okay? There is no perfect human. So whatever is imperfect about you is what we're going to see.
Hmm.
They don't understand that. Anyway, he left as a happy camper, and he said, you know what, now, can you do me a favor? I said, what's the favor? He said, my wife is outside and call her in. Can you screen my wife right now?
Hmm.
When he was satisfied that he got what he needed,
Hmm.
he introduced his wife to the process. And I think you screened her. You screened
Oh,
her, but you didn't know it was his wife.
No, I don't know.
You screened her, right? Because we were so busy today that uh,
Mm,
people were sitting there waiting their turns, and it's so hard sometimes to squeeze anybody in between.
mm,
He says, you know what? Maybe you can get squeezed in by Dr. Richard.
mm.
And we screened her. But the point is, sickness is not normal.
Right, right, right.
It's not normal.
Mm-hmm.
And people must not accept it as normal. Not because your grandfather had diabetes, it means that your father will have diabetes, or he should have it, or you should have it. No, I mean, there are genetics that occur, that things that are in one system could be passed on to others, but not because they have had a problem, it means that you must have the problem.
Right, right. That's a good point because I always say genetics, it loads the gun, but diet pulls the trigger.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly. I see
Um,
you could repeat that again.
yeah. Genetic load the gun. Genetics. My mother, people always say, I have cancer in the family. Yeah, it's genetic. It's there. It's in your system. However, you can prevent it from happening based on your diet.
Yeah,
Diet is what actually makes it all happen. We all of us we have predispositions, but the predisposition doesn't have to happen to you.
exactly.
If
I
you're able
think
to.
we out of time pretty much, but 2 minutes more, I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's already 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
Um, I want to reiterate this point again that I always try to remind persons of. And you said something today that was very profound when you talked about the food when you first started, when you opened your dialogue today.
Hmm.
Your foods should be like medicines to your body.
Right. Right.
It should be like medicines to your body. When you eat your food, we got 3 minutes more.
Hmm.
When you eat your foods should be something that nourishes the body,
Hmm.
not that just fills it. It must nourish it. And sometimes we eat fillers, we eat foods that just full us, like biscuit. We say,
Yeah.
what did you have for dinner last night? Oh, doc, had some nice crackers, man.
Yeah.
Some
Yeah.
nice biscuit and some tea. All he did was fill your belly.
Yeah. Empty nutrition, empty calories. You know, the food has to provide some nourishment to our bodies. I wanted to tell you, you just triggered in my head. A couple of days, a couple of days ago, I think you know Elder Pierre, the
Yeah,
pastor, Adventist pastor. He's
yeah.
still alive.
Wow.
He's 94 years old.
Wow.
And guess what? And this is how I came to know what about him this week. He was on the highway and his car broke down, and I don't know. I think he may have had a flat or something. He was waiting for. He had called and
So
they
it's
were coming to help him. So somebody stopped by and says, I just saw you here, and I saw you, and I didn't want to. I want to see if I can be of help. And he said, no, I get the help is coming. Well, I still want to stay with you just to make sure everything's okay. So the person stayed, and that started a conversation. And the person asked him, somehow they got to the age. He says, I'm 94 years old. What? Are you still driving? So it gave LDPA an opportunity to tell him. He says, look, I'm a vegetarian. I don't eat no flesh. I don't eat no dairy, nothing from an animal. I'm not on any medication. I'm able to see good. I'm driving. I'm doing everything, and I'm walking okay. And I'm 94 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I have still my mental faculties. And the guy was amazed.
Yeah, I was at a flat.
Penelope, they have it. I think they have it on the internet. Something I don't know. It was on Facebook, I think it was, and my wife was showing it. Lady was showing it to me, and I'm looking at LP. LP look good. He
90,
look young.
94.
94.
Yeah.
94.
I don't. I think. I think that the secret to longevity lies in the consumption of the food that we consume.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what he was telling the young man. You
Yeah,
know, I don't eat these things. You know, this is what I eat. I just eat a whole food, plant-based diet. That's it. You know,
yeah,
and my body's, is good. I ain't got no limp, no hump, no medication, no
yeah. But
nothing.
but but the other thing, and before we get ready to close, he didn't look like he lacked any protein either.
No, no, no.
I wonder if he's getting it from the windmill.
I don't know. I'm looking at the PL. I'm like, he looked like he could be no more than maybe 50.
Wow,
You know,
that's
and his body is just the right size
yeah,
with his bow tie. I mean, he looked. Years ago, people from the Nation of Islam used to look like that, man.
yeah.
Sharp.
Anyway, Dr. Richard, time is up.
Yeah.
Thank you for the program today. I mean, we were talking, but we were sending a lot of messages out there, and I hope that the people grab those messages and we begin to implement some of the methods that we suggested. But the thing that I want to leave them with here, and I want you to quickly leave something with them, is that you've got to program the brain
Hmm.
first. You don't program the brain first, you're not going to achieve the objectives. Not
Yeah,
even getting well. Is
that's
that
true.
you want to say? Like,
Yeah, as a man thinketh in his heart, so is he. If you think you cannot do it, you can't.
exactly.
If you can, if you think you can, you can.
All right, great. So next week we're going to continue, and
Hmm.
hopefully we're going to take some calls. I don't know how we're going to do it, and help some people to achieve some objective when it comes to their health. So, Dr. Richard, I want to thank you and thank the guys at Channel 2 and all of those who are watching and streaming and viewing and all of that. Thank you for your participation, your involvement. And we open, you can email us or you can text us or you can, drop us a line, like the program, and just, program it so that you could be made known as to when we're going to be on. Right. So, Dr. Richard, until next Sunday, next Thursday,
So,
God bless you. Continue
God
to
bless you too. All
and
right.
thank the guys in the studio, the owners of the TV station, and all those who are watching. Until we meet again, I want to thank you and good night. God bless you.
Good night.